5 species of Ornithogalum, most of which bear the common name Star of Bethlehem in the Anglophone world, are native to the Holy Land, and they seem to have made their way to Europe and eventually to the New World by way of returning pilgrims and crusaders. The English and the Germans said that the star that had led the wisemen to the stable burst and scattered all over the shepherds' fields. Wherever a fragment of that blessed luminary touched the earth, these little flowers leapt up. Whereupon St. Joseph went out and gathered an armful for the Blessed Mother, telling her that the star had fallen and borne fruit in kind. The French and Italians say that these flowers bloomed wherever Our Lady's tears fell as she wept over the poverty into which the Savior was born. Hence their name for them, Mary's Tears. The stark contrast between the rich gifts of the Magi and the unutterable destitution of a frigid stable overwhelmed Mary with a sorrowful love for her Son, who had chosen not to tarry about his work of suffering redemption. Of course, the 3 kings' rich presents could not possibly compare to Our Lady's gift. A spotless womb, unstained by the darkness of sin, in which the Son of God could assume a human nature just beneath her immaculate heart. And had he not chosen to come as he did, the poor shepherds would likely never have come to him with their adoration and humble offerings. Just as, according to St. Teresa, if it weren't for the accidents of bread and wine that hide his glory, we would never dare to approach him in Holy Communion. The tale is told about one variety, Ornithogalum narbonens, which opens in March and April, that these flowers were blooming along the Via Dolorosa while Mary followed her Son as he carried his cross. Wherever one of her tears fell on a blossom, it closed. Though so many bystanders mocked her Son and wounded her heart, these flowers chose to share Our Lady's sorrows and treasured her tears. I have carved these symbolic flowers on many different projects: a votive altar to Our Lady in the Holy Family in Columbus, on boards to be hung over doors for the Epiphany blessing, on her shrine doors at St. Bernadette's, and on all the frames of the Passiontide doors there, in which the centers take on the colors proper to each shrine: red for the Sacred Heart, blue for Our Lady and St. Bernadette, violet for St. Joseph, and white for the crucifix and the main altarpiece. If you're thinking to yourself, this Star of Bethlehem looks different than the others, you're right. The others are stylizations of the more common Ornithogalum umbellatum, but these are Ornithogalum nutans, which is a little more ornate. It seemed appropriate to use the more decorative star for the high altarpiece. Whether we call them Star of Bethlehem or Mary's Tears, these flowers remind us of the inextricable link between the Incarnation and the Passion. Just as the wood of the manger bespeaks the wood of the cross, Mary's tears in the stable foretell her tears on Calvary. As she holds the swaddled infant in her arms on that cold December night, we cannot help but see her holding his cold, lifeless body at the foot of the cross. At Mass, we can't separate the two. Just as these little white flowers lead both to Bethlehem and to Golgotha. In the Mass, he comes to dwell among us and to renew his sacrifice on the altar to the end of time. At the very bottom of the doors, they stand ready to receive Our Lady's tears as she stands at the foot of the cross, and to lead us to him, no longer in the stable, but ever in the tabernacle, where he humbles himself still more than on that first Christmas night, not content to be laid in a manger, a feeding trough. He has come to feed our souls with his own body, blood, soul and divinity in the Holy Eucharist, where he has exchanged the swaddling cloths for the sacramental veils.